Hello everybody, this is Michael Lee, back with more lumberjack fire safety work. Let's get it. We're going to do a full property tour and an update of my work. Now I also want to focus on the beauty, how beautiful it is where I work, and how I love my job and how lucky I am. Yeah, I had to work my ass off to get here, but boy, is it worth it now that I've got my own successful business with around 10 clients, mostly in this canyon. And then I have 2 brand new clients up in the mountains, where there's 6 feet of snow right now. Probably more like 8 feet now. But let's do a property tour update of my work. Now, we got the winter solstice coming up December 17th, so it's late fall. Today is December 5th. You can see the leaves falling. You can see the colors of the late fall, but these leaves will be all on the ground in a few days. This is where we've been working, cutting the dead oaks, the dead pine, and the dead madrone. Now this ridge is a very important ridge here, this rocky area, for the canyon, because as far as my understanding goes, this is where the largest grove of madrone is. Madrone is a very important species of hardwood up here. It's rare. They take forever to grow, and they are beautiful. Madrone's the one with the purple wood. And remember, I took you guys down that ridge and I showed you the old growth madrones that live down there. Now this is an amazing tree. It's not native to this area, it's native to the north coast. This is Sequoia sempervirens, the coast redwood, the tallest living biological being on the face of the earth. These things can get over 400 feet tall and over 1,000 years old. The tallest one is, I believe, 400 feet in Humboldt County, at an undisclosed location. I've been to the base of that tree, but I sure as heck am not going to tell you where it is. Alright, so that's a cool tree. The property owner planted it. He planted all these Sequoia sempervirens. He planted some nice cedar, some nice Doug fir. Now Doug fir and cedar are native to this region. They're just like madrone, they're rare. Burn piles that I made. My favorite thing about the burn piles is how quick the California quail move in by the dozens, and then how quick the songbirds move in by the dozens. The birds just love these things. And of course the mice, rats, voles, wood rats, ground squirrels, California ground squirrel, all that stuff. So let's take a closer look at these old growth valley oaks. Now valley oaks are endemic and a native species to California. They're not found anywhere else. These bad boys can get over 1,000 years old, and they can get massive, right? I mean, this trunk is, good Lord, it's 6 foot. That's a 6-foot trunk, easy. This branch here is bigger than 10 normal trees, and this is just one branch on this tree. Look at this. This is what they do when oaks get to the old growth stage. Man, they just behave differently. They just do their own thing. Look at this. It's on the ground. You could like walk up this branch. It's just so awesome. Look at the moss growing on it. Look at that branch. Now that's a big tree, right? Canopy goes all the way to there. Jeez, 100-foot canopy at least. Look at the clouds up on the cliff. Okay, let's go look at the next valley oak. Oh, I'd say this This oak is, this is a 300-year-old oak, easy. It's easily 300 years old. Now this one's a little bit smaller, but impressive nonetheless. And when valley oaks get old growth like this, the bark changes. It gets thicker and it forms these big chunks and it's more white. Okay, there's the fallen dead oak we need to clean up. There's the fallen dead pine we need to clean up. That's a old growth manzanita. It's not very big, but those things grow slow. That thing's a couple hundred years old. This deserves a closer look here. This deserves a closer look. A lot of the manzanita burnt in the campfire. Manzanita's flammable, but it comes back. It's adapted to fire. It's fire resistant, but it does burn with vigor. But the reason why scientists, botanists call it fire resistant is that it will come back. It will sprout again. They produce berries and seeds. And the seeds do not get sterilized by fire that easily. They can take it. So manzanita. Manzanita is in the same family as madrone. See how similar it is to madrone? Same color, same smooth bark. But you can see it's got more branches. It's more bush-like compared to a madrone. And then the telltale sign is the leaves. Those are manzanita leaves. See how much smaller and harder they are compared to madrone. Now we can get another perspective on these big valley oaks. Look at that tree. And look at that big coast redwood in the background. Amazing. Beautiful. Let's go to the Madrone Ridge. And then after that, we'll go to the ravine that separates this property from Doug's property. Doug's next door. Doug is one of the land barons up here. He's got a lot of land, and he's the first property owner I worked for up here. He's very important to me. Without him, I wouldn't have got any of these other jobs. Okay, so the work that I did here was I moved the firewood closer to the house and put it underneath that big tarp. Got into a nice pile. I separated all the conked wood out that was no good to burn and kept only the good stuff. I'm working on a new firewood pile up there that's mostly valley oak and some interior live oak. This is my madrone firewood pile. Still have to do some splitting, but most of the madrone I'm going to leave in the small rounds because it's just too hard to split. By hand, at least. I split by hand. Now this is toyon. This is toyon berry, California native plant. This is the hardest wood I've ever cut in my life. This stuff's scary hard. I think it's harder than madrone and manzanita, and that's saying something. And it's in the same family as toyon is in the same family as madrone and manzanita. Cool, huh? This thing also produces berries and it sprouts differently though. It sends up shoots from the roots. It just grows back after it burns down to the base. It just sends up fresh shoots, and that's toyon's survival strategy for fire. God, madrone's beautiful. All right, anyways, here's where we cut those big dead oaks. Here's where we did the board cut, and the thing spit on me. See how I clean up my stumps and make them look nice? Look at that. The stump's a work of art now. Instead of leaving some big, ugly, stupid-looking thumb sticking out of the... Like most workers, they'll leave some big, stupid stump sticking up like that with the chainsaw cut still visible in it. Looks like crap. Don't do that. That's shoddy work. Clean your stump up. Cut it low to the earth. I had a big rock there, but I cut it as low as I could without dulling my chain, and then round the edges. so it looks nice and natural. This thing is already rotten in the middle, so I didn't have to do my cross plunge cut. Let's look at the other dead oak we cut. This one is also rotten in the middle, so I didn't have to do a cross plunge cut. You can see all that white stuff. That's mycelium. That'll turn into turkey tail mushrooms. You can see the mycelium there. That will turn into turkey tail mushrooms. See how I cleaned the stump, cut it low, rounded the top. All this I still have to split into firewood. This is good firewood. This is oak. Valley oak. This was fun. This was fun bucking all this. I had to really think and plan ahead because it's so rocky here. I had to kind of work on keeping the wood up off the ground. You can see a lot of oak firewood here. Good stuff. Some people don't like to burn oak. They think it makes too much ash. I think that's nonsense. I love burning oak. And of course, I only cut oak when it's dead. I'm not an idiot. I don't cut big, large, healthy oak trees because if they grow slow. It takes them hundreds of years to get like that, you know? Fire safety lumberjack work. I cut mostly dead trees, right? Cut a big dead madrone down there. And then way down there is where the old growth madrone live. That's where I showed you in the previous videos. Now, let's go over to the ravine. You hear that? That brant, brant, brant. Those are acorn woodpeckers. I love those birds. Okay, so cut a lot of pine here. That's a foothill pine, ponderosa pine. They're all dead. We're gonna burn all this in a burn pile. One burn pile I made. Second burn pile I made. Third burn pile I made. Oh, here it is. I walked right by it. Here's where we cut the dead pine. See the water? See the water down in my cross plunge cut? That's how I do it. And then the water and the bugs can get down into the stump and break it down faster. Cool, huh? It's the second dead pine I cut. Man, I did a deep plunge cut on this one. I can barely even see the waterway down there. Isn't that beautiful? A pretty old tree. Probably 40 years old. Pines grow fast. There's the other side of the canyon. And then the most recent work that I've done is removing the suckers and stumping 2 large dead California black walnuts. And a little bit of work over here on a fallen oak. And I'll have to wait to finish up this area because, as you can see, I already did all the work on this property owner's side, who's paying me right now. So I have to finish the rest of this. Man, there's a lot of fallen dead trees here. Like, that's got to go. You know, all that's got to go. But this is on Doug's property, so I have to wait until I'm working for him again and he's paying me. And then I get to finish all this. Right? I got the stuff on this side done. See this? Here's the property line. See that? Okay, now. Oh, Oh, this is what we're doing today. So I should probably make a video of me doing this. Why not? This stump needs to be cleaned up. It doesn't look good. I cut it lower yesterday. I had to get rid of all these suckers. Another good thing about cutting your stump low and rounding it is that it cuts back on the number of suckers that try to come back, which turn into just basically big flammable bushes. They don't ever turn back into a nice looking walnut tree. So that stump needs to be cleaned up, but I did the heavy lifting on that stump yesterday. Just got to round the edges and do my cross plunge cut. This one's done. California black walnut. Beautiful wood, huh? Beautiful wood. You can see these out parts. These were the suckers. These were the suckers that were growing back. See? You can see more suckers there. Oh yeah, you can see the water down in there. Yeah, that's what we want. It'll break the stump down faster. Damn, I'm good. That looks nice, huh? Look at this foothill pine. Whoa! It's improvising. It's a jazz musician. I want to show you this amazing workshop, one of the most amazing workshops I've ever been privileged to use. And it's right here. So let's go check it out. Property owner I'm working for was so kind as to allow me to use his workshop. He didn't have a vise on his workbench, so I brought my stump vise. You can get these from Husqvarna. Steel makes a bigger one. And then I propped my saw up on these stumps, tighten the bar into the stump vise, and that's how I sharpen. And I sharpen by hand. Flat file for the rakers. I don't use any gauges. And then round file for the cutters. That's how I do it. I sharpen by hand with a round file on the cutters because it's round chain. I'm not a production faller, not a production logger. Don't use square ground chain. I just don't need to cut that fast. I don't need a chain that sharp. Only the pros do that way. There's my go-to saw for this property, since the biggest stuff I'll be cutting is kind of like 2 to 3 feet diameter. So this is the Husqvarna 562 XP with the Sugihara 28-inch bar, full wrap handle. The only thing I've modified on it, it's not ported. I don't need a ported chainsaw. Once again, I'm not a pro. I just opened up the oilers a bit with a Dremel, so that I can get better oil flow. Cut a lot of dead trees, so I need better oil flow to the bar groove and chain. Got the oil gas mix, bar oil. It's just a nice setup. Extra chain. I have my Made in America metal toolboxes here. Here's my sharpening tools. Round file, flat file. I dry my gloves. It's just nice to have a setup like this, everybody, where you're inside out of the rain and you can have your saw up higher and work properly on it. Not squatting on your knees or on your ass in the mud, right? And then this is what it's all about right here. This is one of the coolest wood burning stoves I've ever seen. Check it out. Isn't this cool? There's no way you could legally get one of these anymore, especially where we are in California. Look at this space heater. They don't even call it a wood burning stove. They call it a space heater. U.S. Army. That says number 1? Maybe 1st Division? I don't know, but the property owner thinks this is from the Korean War. Maybe they had like a big canvas, thick canvas tent, and this was their barrack. That was their barracks. And then they had this thing to keep them from freezing. Korea is a freezing cold country, and it's just, there's always surrounded on three sides by the ocean, so it's like it's freezing cold and there's water everywhere. It's just like a brutal place. You're just soaking wet and freezing all the time, so the soldiers probably really appreciated this thing. And they just don't, old stuff's just made better. You can open up this ash catcher in the bottom that's got a little swivel on it, and then the ash falls down, and the charcoal that you can still burn stays up high. And then you can just do a flat shovel and shovel it out. It's genius. It's genius. Why they don't make them like this anymore. And then you got your handle here, and you just come in and you can access your fire like that. And this thing, you guys, it's so nice to come in here and take like a late lunch break when I'm soaking wet and freezing, and put like put my wool jacket and my leather gloves up here, and they start steaming and drying off, and I can eat lunch in front of this thing. God, I love my job. But it's all because of the quality, the high quality of the people that I work for. They're just amazing, kind, canyon people. They're tough too. They survived the campfire. These people that live up here are badass. They're survivors, and they're awesome. Then you just walk outside the workshop, and it's like great nature, daishi zen, the Japanese term for great nature, daishi zen, not normal nature, great nature. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Have a great day.